Can a builder cancel their contract with you just days before closing? You might be surprised. I'm going to tell you what happened with a couple in Texas, and I'm going to tell you what you can do to stay protected so the same thing doesn't happen to you. This is Monday Mornings with Mark. Hi, I'm your host, Mark J. Schmidt of RE/MAX Country and MoveMeMark.com, where I help you get the most out of the real estate market and your home. If you're new here and you like what you see, do me a favor, hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss out. Now here's the headline coming from Fox 4. It's KDFW in Texas. The headline is, "Canceled for convenience. North Texas family loses home after builder backs out without warning." Well, that's shocking. I mean, you hear that and you go, how can a builder just back out days before the closing? Well, let me tell you what happened. This couple went under contract on a new construction property, their dream home they were building, in December of 2020. Now, what happened was this. It took 16 months to build their home. They actually did have some delays. There were delays due to the supply chain issues our country was having. But in any event, it took 16 months to build the house, and they had to sell their home. That was part of the contract that they signed with the builder, was that they had to have their home sold by a certain time. So they sold their home towards the end of 2021, and they did a lease back. So they closed on their sale, and the buyers of their home allowed them to stay in the home past the closing date. They were set to stay until January of 2022, when their home was supposed to be finished, but unfortunately it was not finished. So they had to move out and go rent an Airbnb for a while. So here's what happened. They found out that their closing was going to be delayed until April 15th. April 15th came and the builder said, well, now we are having trouble with some of the carpeting, and they pushed the closing back to April 22nd. Well, 6 days before the closing, they get the following text message. "I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Glacier Homes / Kindred Homes has decided to terminate the sales contract with you dated December 15th, 2020. Now, you might be asking yourself, can they do that? Can they just go and cancel the contract like that? And frankly, why would they want to? This builder has spent all this time building this home, and especially building it to the specs, the design choices of what this couple wanted. Why would they want to cancel the contract? Well, here's what happened. There was a clause in the contract that the builder wrote up, and the clause went like this. "The seller maintains the right to terminate this contract for convenience and without regard to fault or breach." So what does that mean? In layman's terms, it basically gave the builder a way out of the contract for any reason. They didn't have to show a reason why they wanted to cancel the contract. All they had to say was, hey, we don't want to sell to you anymore. And what the builder wound up doing was canceling the contract with this couple and then putting the house back on the market for $300,000 more than these people were going to be paying for it. So you might be asking yourself, why would the buyers agree to such a clause in the contract? Well, in Texas, they have the right to have an attorney review a contract. And here in New Jersey, where I sell real estate, we have an attorney review period. So you have the right to have an attorney review the contract. Now, while you have the right to have an attorney review the contract, it's not mandatory that an attorney review the contract. And in Texas, this couple elected to not have an attorney review the contract. And thus, that's why the builder had this gaping hole that they could then exercise and kill the deal and sell the home to someone else. So how do you keep yourself protected? Well, it's important that you have an attorney review the contract, especially when it comes to a builder's contract. Now, real estate agents like myself here in New Jersey, we have these boilerplate contracts that we put together. Now, obviously, I'm not an attorney. I can't write a contract from scratch, but the state of New Jersey believes that I'm smart enough to fill in the blanks on a pre-written contract. So I can put in the closing date, the amount of the offer, and what the deposits are going to be like. I can write anything like that. Now, a builder uses their own contracts. They're not using these boilerplate contracts like real estate agents would use. And these contracts that they write are specifically designed to work in their favor. So they will have clauses in there like, for example, if you don't close on time, if they're ready to close and you're not ready to close, they'll charge you a per day rate, a fine basically, every day that you don't close. So they have all these little things in there to make sure that you're ready to close on time and to protect them as much as possible. So if you get into a contract for new construction and it's got a clause like this, now a lot of times a builder will say, listen, that's the clause. If you want it, great, we'll sell you the house. If you don't have to take it. Don't buy the house. In this regard, this couple may have been much better served not agreeing to that purchase, because that clause, like I said, it allowed that builder to cancel the contract and then sell the house to someone else for $300,000 more. These people are out a lot of money at this point. They're getting their money back that they put down as their escrow money towards this home that they were building. But now they don't have a home. They thought they were building their dream home. They actually went out and had a pool company come out and draw up a plan for a pool they were going to have put in their backyard. That was money they spent that now is in the wind. So my advice to you is always have an attorney review your contract. Whether it's a boilerplate contract that a real estate agent is putting together for you, or especially if it's a contract for a builder or it's not a boilerplate contract, you definitely want to have an attorney review that. And really, they're there to protect you. Like I said, those builder contracts, they're there mainly to protect the builder, but you have rights. You want to make sure that you're not getting into a situation where you potentially might not be buying that home you think you're buying. Now listen, if you have questions about buying new construction, if you have questions about any part of the real estate process, there's a fantastic resource. It's my website. You can find me at www.MoveMeMark.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you missed our last episode, I've got it right here for you. And here's another episode that YouTube thinks you should watch. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that circle and subscribe so you don't miss out. And I'll see you next time for more Monday Mornings with Mark. You have a great week.